Call it Motown, call it the Motor City. To Lions fans, this is home. Ford Field in downtown Detroit. So what lies in store for these teams this season? The talking's done. We're about to find out. It's week. And off we go on EA Sports. So they come to the line for first down and 10. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. And a strong start on the ground. He'll get 7 on the game's first play. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Once again, it's Gibbs. And he's got it. First down. A pickup of 4.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
First down, and they stick with Gibbs. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Here's a 2nd and 6. London brought in motion. Now this time they'll look to throw. Oh, trying to set up the screen, but that is going to fall incomplete. He was looking for Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Throwing now from the gun. That'll be caught. It's Jahmyr Gibbs. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down.
I think there's one of those plays that when the ball carrier watches this back in the film room tomorrow, he's going to be a little frustrated with himself. If he could just have made that one guy miss, he picks up the first down. Instead, he gets brought down short of the sticks. And now they got a 4th down decision to make.
Out of the gun, he'll throw. That's taken in. And he's out of bounds, but they are in the red zone, out inside the 20. They get the conversion with a gain of 22. So they move inside the 20, 1st and 10 at the 18. On the ground, this is Gibbs. Not much happening there. Tackled at the 17. Here's 2nd and 9. are on here with Gibbs. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. Ninth play of this opening drive, trying to keep it going here on third down. Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. It is brought in the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. And how about that? His first career catch also becomes his first career NFL touchdown. Evan McPherson now to kick the extra point. The kick is good. And the Buccaneers have their first lead of the new year. They're up 7-0 here in the season opener. After the TD, on is McPherson to kick this one away. Here comes a return from the 5. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. It's the first run of the game for Bijan Robinson. Room to run at the 40. It's a gain of 16, and very quickly, a first down.
Well, we knew coming into this one, Mike, that we were going to see a lot of this guy, and we knew we'd see a lot of him early. If that first play is any indication of the rest of this game, this defense is going to have their hands full containing him.
A play fake. Now Williams. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
The whole idea of the play-action pass, Mike, is that you can slow the pass rush down enough that it allows longer, slower developing pass concepts to open up downfield. But in this case, they were on him so fast that by the time he got his head around, that ball needed to come out. There was no timing and ultimately led in an incompletion.
His fullback releasing, and he's going to bring it in. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
Yards are hard to come by there. Work it down to the 37-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. He's got this to Bijan Robinson. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
Well, this is a great example of the old saying, Mike, you never go broke taking a profit. Give credit to this quarterback. I know it's not the big explosive play he was looking for, but getting the ball into the hands of his running back, allow him to pick up some extra yardage after the catch.
Third down, 3 to go. They'll try to run for it with Robinson. Robinson, a first down and more. They are not having success on defense. That play picks up 19 yards.
Each week coming into the game, every team in the league, Mike, places a huge emphasis on success on their opening drive. But the key to that is sustaining possession, converting on third down. It's exactly what they were able to do here, keeping the ball on the ground. The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike, I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up second and long. It's second down and 12. Quick throw, taken in. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
I really like the balance that they've showed so far on this drive, Mike, and what that does is it makes the defense have to defend the entire field. The run game and the pass game, everything looks the same. There's no tells, so they can't afford to just dial up certain schemes to take away a run or a pass. They've got to defend the entire playbook, and so far they've done a great job on this drive doing just that.
His kick is perfect. And the Lions are on the board. It's 7-3.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone, and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
And we'll see a return here from his own end zone. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. Following the kickoff, we have an injured player on the field. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin first and 10. On the ground to start, they give it to Gibbs. And he'll get about 5. They'll break the huddle. It's second and 5. They'll look to throw. Left side in the hands of London. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line.
Every quarterback's dream is, can I get the ball out of my hand as fast as possible and get it to a guy that can do the rest after the catch? And it seems like nowadays, throughout the entire league, the best offenses thrive in yards after the catch.
And he's trying to turn the corner, but will not do it. Brought down behind the line.
Just a little too much east and west there for my liking. I understand what they're trying to do, getting the ball out on the perimeter, but in these early downs, plant your foot and get downhill. Great job by the defense stringing it out, and they're able to force him down for a loss.
Back to throw. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
If you're going to take a sack, you just can't add to it by taking such a massive loss. On top, understand when the pocket breaks down, move up, cut your losses. Now, not only do you lose that down, but now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
Throwing now on third and long. And that is incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on first and second down. Like living in these third and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
And this will not turn out to be a good return. Forced backwards, and they get him out of bounds. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. From the shotgun, it's Williams. Well covered on the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Tyke Smith.
So not a lot of yards on the return, Mike, but that's okay. The number one thing, end up with the ball in your hands. And in this case, mission accomplished, and his guys are headed off the field to celebrate.
On first and 10, here's Gibbs. And he'll be taken down, and that's going to do it. That's the last play of the first quarter. So, first quarter in the books here on NFL. Second and 7. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa. And what an opener it has been for this rookie. That's now his second touchdown here in week 1. And that is number 2. Greg, he is off to some kind of start in this one. 2 quarters and 2 receiving touchdowns.
Mike, this is one of those situations where as a defensive coordinator, you've got to give your group an answer. Because right now, they don't have one for this guy.
After the TD, on is McPherson to kick this one away. He fields it at the 8. Now an opening past the 30. Past the 40. Inside the 20. And he's going to take this all the way back. 92 yards. Touchdown, Detroit. And that's a football to hold on to forever. His first NFL touchdown in his very first NFL game. A try here for the extra point. He's got it. And the Lions are back within 4. It is 14-10. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now he'll run.
He tried to buy all the time he could, but when he saw that space, he quickly turned from thrower to runner, and he's able to pick up a nice gain on first down.
On second down, it's Gibbs. And he'll be near the first down marker. It's called a gain of 3, but a short yardage situation coming up on third down. Blitz coming. He'll throw it. Now, deep ball for London. And this is going to be incomplete. And it's great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down. They do indeed snap it as they'll try and throw. That is incomplete. They took a chance of throwing it on 4th and short, but not to be, and they'll turn it over on downs. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And they'll run out of the gun. Here comes Robinson. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too. Here's a 2nd and 12. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. And that's a good gain there. It's going to wind up just a couple of yards shy of that first down. They'll come up to 3rd and 3. And here's Bijan. Robinson, a first down and more. That's a gain of 14 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. To throw, it's Williams. Quick throw here is complete. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. On the give, it's Robinson. He is in. Bijan Robinson. Touchdown, Detroit.
When you start talking about the qualities of a top-tier back in the NFL, Mike, we all talk about size, speed, the ability to keep your feet, the ability to have balance at contact. But the part we don't talk enough about is patience, understanding the blocking scheme, the timing, when to hit the hole, as much as what hole to hit. And I think you get a great example of what that looks like when it all comes together. He takes advantage of the scheme, and next thing you know, he hits his head on the goalpost.
The return team going to let that one go. It'll go through the end zone. It's a touchback. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. London brought in motion. Back to throw here to begin the drop. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line. Work to do now as they come up on second and long. They put a receiver in motion to the left. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down.
Really just been a combination of errors here on this drive. I mean, the sack on first down put him in a bad spot. Then the incompletion there trying to gain it back on second. And now they
will continue to go backwards. He's taken down for a sack. Kicking time for the Bucs. They'll punt it away, as he'll have to hit it from his own end zone. This returnable from inside his own 40. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. A play fake. And they'll throw with Williams. That's going to be intercepted. And the Buccaneers are going to get the football at their own 40.
And this is going to go down as a pick, but it really was the pressure defensively that caused the interception. I mean, he was a little sloppy with his fundamentals, but I think it's as a result of the guy in his face led to that ball kind of sailing, inaccurate throw, and that's just really good team defense.
And he's going to be taken down right at midfield.
The goal of every offense, Mike, is to find a way to establish a balance between the run and the pass. With some success here early on the ground will open up things as the game unfolds for the quarterback in this passing game.
Here's Gibbs. And a nice run there. He'll be stopped just shy of a first down. A pickup of 9.
When the offense broke the huddle in a line, Mike, I think everybody in the stadium knew this was going to be a run, but the offense is kind of saying, okay, line up, I dare you to try to stop us, and right now this defense has no answers.
He'll push this one downfield for Bowers. And he will get into the end zone. Brock Bowers. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. And the show continues. What a first half he's had, Greg. A third touchdown pass with that one.
Mike, what stood out to me the most so far is just the amount of space these guys have had to operate in. I think if I'm this defensive coordinator, me and my staff at halftime are revisiting this game plan. They obviously felt good about it coming in, but I don't think there's anything to feel good about thus far.
After the TD, on is McPherson to kick this one away. This taken at the 5. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. Here's 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Robinson. And he'll get back maybe to the line of scrimmage, but probably going to be a loss of a yard here.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on 1st down, but that's exactly the case here.
Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. To the right side here, pass is caught, and he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. That's good for 27 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
It's a give up the middle to Robinson. And he'll be taken down as we tick down to the 2-minute warning.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the box.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Throwing is Williams. Going up top. And that is incomplete.
Haven't even reached halftime yet, and we see this quarterback just continue to put the ball in harm's way and make bad decisions. He's lucky it didn't add another interception to his stat sheet, and as they approach halftime here, they got to regroup, and he's going to have to make the better decisions here in the 2nd half.
And that is incomplete.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
Oh, no. That is not going to work out at all. That will be a safety. Well, just when you think you've seen it all, there's this one. That's a lot of ground to cover in the wrong direction and cost 2 points.
Well, Mike, this doesn't happen very often, but I think I'm at a loss of words. You just don't typically see a play like that happening very often, but in this case, if you're the defense, you'll take the 2 points.
Williams going to look to throw it on 1st down. He'll complete that to his fullback. And he'll get about 8 on that one, most of it coming after the catch. It's 2nd down. Williams. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a 1st down. 19 yards on the gain, and that's good for a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down, it's Williams. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete. I think at some point for this quarterback, he has to start looking some other directions. I mean, he's tried to get the ball now to this guy multiple times, and all of them have resulted in incomplete passes. I'm not saying don't throw it to him in the future, but maybe get yourself a couple easy completions elsewhere before you look back in his direction.
And he'll take it on in. Touchdown, Lions.
You know, Mike, at this level, not all touchdowns are created equal. There's some plays that result in touchdowns, and then there are touchdown strikes. And this one is the latter. I mean, you talk about a confidently thrown ball on the money downfield. It doesn't get a lot better than this, and his receiver is able to take it in for 6.
And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. That's to the right side, and caught by Bowers.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
3rd down and 9. Now they'll set up to throw. Open man, right side. He's got it. That's his 3rd catch of this first half, and good enough for a 1st down.
And that's an important conversion, not only because it keeps their offense on the field, and now they can go down and see if they can steal some late points. But either way, worst case scenario, Mike, if you're the offense here, you want to possess the ball going into halftime. Don't give your opponent a chance to go down and score on you. So big pickup there. Now we'll see if they can turn it into some points.
That's caught by Gibbs. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35. He'll drop to throw. Now he'll run it. Can't beat those legs. 13-yard pickup. A scramble leads to a 1st down.
Mike, anytime you're preparing to play a quarterback like this, the defense has to be prepared to keep him in the pocket. Once he gets out, we can see clearly why he is such a threat with his legs.
Throwing it right into the hands of his running back.
Great example of 1st down efficiency. You don't but put yourself in a friendly 2nd down. Now you have equal opportunity to both run and pass.
Here comes the blitz as he looks to throw. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. They might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet. The biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. And sometimes he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
That's taken in, and he's going to be brought down. They passed on that field goal attempt, and they get nothing out of it as the first half comes to an end. Coach, thank you. Not a rest at the break for the defensive coordinators, trying to figure out how to stop these offenses as we get ready for the 2nd half. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this 2nd half gets underway. And he's brought down right at the 35-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. A tight end in motion now. The drive will begin here with a run by Robinson. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
This is where you have to be careful, Mike. You find yourself winning in the 2nd half. Human instinct says, all right, let's just sit on the ball and protect the lead and let the clock run out. You can't do that. Stay aggressive. Do what got you here. Continue to mix the run with the pass. Keep your foot on the gas and try to extend this lead.
Look him up on a 2nd down and 8. Working out of the gun. Here's Williams. The 2nd down throw is incomplete.
So on a day where he's completed, give or take half of his passes, Mike, you have to imagine there's a handful of throws he'd like to have back, and I think that last one falls in that category. But the biggest thing, and most fortunately for them, they find themselves with the lead, despite a bit of an up and down.
And for a third time today, he's intercepted. It is picked off by the rookie safety.
So we saw in the first half, Mike, they were willing to take some risks. It allowed them to build this halftime lead. Now the opposing sideline, they're looking to fight back. They're looking to cut that lead down. That's what that coverage seemed. It looked like they baited that quarterback to force that errant throw and lead to that turnover. Now it's their offense coming back on the field with a chance to cut this deficit.
And he's brought down after a gain of a couple. Second down at 8. Straight ahead with Gibbs. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
Now Gibbs. He's taken down, but just shy of midfield.
Well, there's not a whole lot of fancy going on here, Mike. This is just kind of old school, line up and run smash mouth football. It's exactly what they did, but it still ends up in a big gain, and he picks up the first down.
London brought in motion. Now this time they'll look to throw. No one open, he'll drop it to his running back.
They were able to complete this pass, but how often do we see these running backs run these angle routes and they catch it in stride and run a hole through the defense? So, I know the defense gave up some yards here, but it could have been a lot worse.
Quick throw, taken in. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a first down after a gain of 7.
First down,
Here's a handoff to Gibbs. And he'll get about 6 there, setting up second down. Once again, it's Gibbs. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, here he is just taking over this drive from the run. You know the offensive line's doing their job up front, and we can see the results.
First down, and they stick with Gibbs. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. On the ground, this is Gibbs. And he'll bring this inside the 15. That's good enough for the first down.
Second down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass, and I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work first and 10. They'll run it to the right here with Gibbs. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. They'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. They hand it to Gibbs. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal coming up. They try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They'll try to run this one in. And he will not get in from there. In fact, I think he'd be shoved backwards a little bit. They'll go with him again. Trying to push the piles forward. He didn't even get to the 1-yard line. They stopped him short. No gain.
I typically like to see the play-action pass on the early downs, Mike. Now they find themselves on 3rd down. The defense is more prepared for the pass. They get stopped twice with the run. Do they go back to it a 3rd time and take their chances? Throwing
here on 3rd and goal. That's to the end zone, but they can't get it. It's incomplete.
Teams practice these situations all week long, Mike. Down here in the tight red zone, you find yourself inside the 10-yard line. You're thinking, we've got to come away with the touchdown. Well, after that third down incomplete, it's going to be real interesting to see how they approach this fourth down after failing on third.
And he's not going anywhere. Stuffed behind the line. They have turned it over on downs. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. They run over center with Robinson. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. Here's 2nd and 2. Another run here for Robinson. He's up the sideline to the 25. And he's out of bounds, very close to the 40-yard line. So from the 39, they come up on 1st and 10. They send one of the tight ends in motion to the left. On 1st down, right back to Robinson. Not much there, maybe a yard. Here's a 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Williams. Escaping the danger, throwing and completing. Here comes 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, it's Williams from the gun. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down.
The defensive coaches, they preached all week, Mike. They have to have relentless pursuit of this quarterback when he tries to extend the play. So often it results in a great play for the offense and a big pickup. This time, because of that pursuit, it leads to a big loss.
And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. From the 25, they'll go to work. 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with Gibbs. He's going nowhere. Losing yardage on that play.
How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back? But not this guy. Does a great job staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings him down for a loss.
That's going to be incomplete, and the clock will stop. Likely one more play in this 3rd quarter.
There was no hesitation from the quarterback. From the jump, he knew where he wanted to go with that ball, but still leads to an incompletion. They're just still not quite on the same page.
He's going to be taken down here. The defense comes up with a sack on the final play. The Buccaneers getting their punter out there. They forced to punt, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This brought in out past the 20. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. On the handoff, it's Robinson. Tough to bring down, and somehow he manages to get 4 yards out of that. Here's a 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Robinson. The defense all over this one. They get him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a couple.
You know, at this point, the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air?
Oh, they got the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
And at this point in the game, Mike, we all know one play can be the difference between winning and losing. And now after that poor throw, we'll see, can they capitalize on this extra possession that they just stole?
They're going to run out of the gun with Gibbs. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's second down. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but they take it to the 20-yard line with that one. His 5th catch of the afternoon. Good for a first down. A run up the middle. It's Gibbs. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's second down. London brought in motion. They'll look to throw. Fires quickly. It is complete on the slant. And they'll work this close to a first down, maybe just a tad short. A big play looming here. They need to convert. It is 3rd and inches. They'll throw out of the gun. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
They're lucky to have avoided this mistake here, Mike. In the 4th quarter with possessions running out, that would have been a critical back-breaking play in this game. And they're going to have second life now after that defender drops the ball. And let's see if they can take advantage of it.
That is caught. It's a gain of 10 as they get the conversion on 4th down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you?
He slams it in there, and he is in. Jahmyr Gibbs. Touchdown, Buccaneers. What a game this has been. Back and forth we go, and that 4th quarter score changes the lead one more time.
And we've seen the lead go back and forth, Mike, and now the question is, can they get a stop? Can they find a way defensively to hang on to this lead and get themselves this big win?
This will be big for the Bucs. They're going to try the 2-point conversion. Oh, they got the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
That decision to go for 2 was made up from the very beginning. The moment they scored, you could see the head coach. He's signaling, we're going for 2. The touchdown was obviously a disappointing outcome defensively, but to able to get that stop, they can at least come off the field and catch their breath.
This is fielded inside the 5. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Robinson. And a nice run there on 1st down, getting 8. Setting up 2nd and 2. On the give, it's Robinson. And he'll be close to a first down. A gain of a couple as they mark him just short. Time now becoming a factor as we get to 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Robinson. He's going to have a Lions first down. They're able to convert by plenty on that 3rd and 1.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Williams. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. Now he'll run it.
Well, we've seen time and time again just how dangerous this quarterback can be, Mike, when he decides to tuck it and take off. So that is a great job defensively to rally to the football and hold them to just a short gain.
On 3rd down, it's Williams. So 2 minutes left to play in the 2nd half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. They need 8 yards to keep it going. 4th and 8. They'll indeed go. It's Williams. He'll air it out down the middle. I had to take a chance on 4th down, and it's intercepted.
When you find yourself in this situation, Mike, you're on defense, you're defending your own goal line, you got to take some chances. You've got to try to force a turnover and make a play and get off the field. That's exactly what this defender did. Takes a chance, bets on himself, and comes away with a pick to save them some points.
They'll try to burn some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. Here's a handoff to Gibbs. He was looking for that cutback lane, but it never developed. Tracked down behind the line.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the first down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
Oh, do you believe it? It's intercepted. Picked off by Junior Colson.
You know, as they say, hindsight being 20/20, but they probably would have been better off just leaning on the ground game to close this one out. Instead, they decided to put the ball in the air, and now in the blink of an eye, all the pressure suddenly shifts to their defense to try to close this one out.
Here's Robinson. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Robinson. And nothing doing on that one. He'll go down behind the line. Now the Bucs will take their first timeout. The stoppage comes with just over a minute to play in this one. Now, a big 3rd down. They'll run with Robinson. Timeout here, Tampa Bay. That is their 2nd, as they get it with just under a minute to go in this football game. This kick is good. And they take the lead in the final minute of this game.
And this has been such a tight game, but that's a big one right there. I mean, you need a kicker with confidence. Well, this guy, he fits the bill. He steps up and knocks it through to give his guys a lead here in the fourth quarter.
A couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get this up past the 20, and that's where they'll set up shop. They'll come up for 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Now he'll air one out. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. Out of the gun, he'll throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down. Back to throw. He'll go right and find his running back. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the 1st down marker.
And after that completion, they don't have enough to move the chain, so it's all going to come down to this. If they want any opportunity to go down and kick themselves a field goal, they've got to convert here on this 4th down. They need their best play.
Now, deep ball for London. And that is incomplete. They had their chance and took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Gotta let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on down. Run it here with Robinson. Finding space at the 15. And they finally get him down, but not before he brings it to the 4-yard line.
And this is the point of the game, Mike, where you really can start leaning on your run game and try to close this game out. You've got the lead, you're in the 4th quarter, and they're able to pop off a big run.
So it's a win here for the Lions. They move to 1-0.